here today to introduce Mary Keefe. She is very interesting in her own right, but she also has a very interesting story to tell about Oklahoma and its history. Mary, you really do have an interesting family history, but I know you have children too. What are their names? And tell us just a bit about them. And then tell about growing up in Okarche and your grandfather and what he did.
Okay.
All right.
Well, my maternal grandfather came from Germany with his father when he was 14 years old. They settled originally in Nebraska. When the unassigned territories of Oklahoma opened, they came to Oklahoma and made the run and staked out their acreage in an area that eventually became Okarche. Okarche was named for Oklahoma, and then the AAR and CHE for the Cheyenne and Arapaho nation that have their land between El Reno. When they staked the land in Okarche, my grandfather established the first charter bank in Oklahoma, and it is still an active operating bank. My mother and her brother Paul were both born there. They lived in Okarche all their lives. My Uncle Paul went to Notre Dame for his college, and my mother went to St. Mary of the Woods for her college education, which is fairly close to Notre Dame in that area.
Where did you go to college?
OU.
Okay.
Yes. And in Oklahoma, I'm usually outnumbered. There are more OSU people than OU, but I'm a proud graduate of OU. Got my bachelor's in education, elementary education. Later went to OCU for a master's in counseling psychology.
Okay.
I got married shortly after I graduated from college to my sweetheart, Jim Perdue. We have 5 children, 3 girls and twin boys. He died of a fatal heart attack. Well, it's been 30 years. It didn't seem possible. I married again about 19 years ago, introduced to someone here in Oklahoma City by a mutual friend of ours who thought that we would be perfect together, which we were. And unfortunately, he passed away 3 years ago. And after he died, I moved to Epworth. The house was too big, it was a corner lot, too much yard, and I looked at the different places that were available. I really liked Epworth. I'm closer to my daughter if I live at Epworth than, say, Concordia, which is on Britton Road.
So one of your twin daughters lives in Oklahoma.
Well, I don't have twin daughters. I have twin sons. Yes, she
Sorry.
lives in Edmond. She's an occupational therapist, so she's relatively close.
Oh, excellent.
I have a daughter that lives in Austin and one that lives in Broken Arrow. One of my sons lives in Enid, and his twin brother lives in Okarche.
Okay, so you've got them all pretty close.
Yes.
That's great.
Mhm.
But-
Austin is the furthest away, but it's very easy to get to Austin. Yeah. Southwest has a direct flight.
Yeah.
Just hop on and you're there. Yes.
Well, you have done a number of things while you have lived at Epworth, I know. you're the assistant to the person who runs the floor of the second floor of the East Wing, where you
Yes.
are on the first floor.
Yes.
Yeah. That's, what are your duties there?
I'm on the committee, and it is about to wind up. In fact, we have a meeting tomorrow, which will be the last, and it's the Staff Appreciation Committee, where we have raised money, and they do this every year, Wilma and Sally. Without them, I don't know where we'd be. And the money raised goes to the employees, the hourly wage employees that do so much for us. I belong to the book club that Jan Smith started. Fortunately, she just has done a wonderful job with that. Chaplain chat, I do, it just depends on what Susan has arranged. I signed up today for the marathon, which obviously we don't run 26 miles. We walk 25 miles on our own starting this January 1st. And the last mile we're bused down to the area. And
Well, that doesn't that make some money for Epworth?
No, it doesn't
No.
make any money for Epworth. It's the Memorial Marathon that honors those killed in the bombing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I knew it was for that.
And that money goes to them. They
do, but you earn money for the memorial.
Yes, yeah, that money, the fee
for the
goes to,
museum and,
the marathon. And,
well, you stay quite busy, but back to Okarche, what were some of your experiences growing up in Okarche? And
it was a wonderful place to grow up. And of course, with people our age, about anywhere you lived then was a great place. It was safe. The schools were good. It was just Okarche was a wonderful place. Yeah. And I lived there after my husband and I were married, and our children were raised there. Went to school there. When the youngest of my children are the twins, and when they were 4, I went back to school at UCO and got a master's in counseling psychology, and I worked at the Kingfisher County Health Department in the guidance division. And after about 10 years with that, I decided I really think I want to teach, so I had to go back and get hours to get my teaching certificate. And then I taught 4th grade at the same school, at Holy Trinity Catholic School, where I went to school. So I love teaching. I often think I wish I would have taught the whole time I worked, but I love teaching. I did a lot of volunteer work. Okarche is very close to Oklahoma City. People who live in Oklahoma City may think Okarche's far away. If you live in Okarche, Oklahoma City's not very far.
Yeah. Well, and it's all flat and straight.
Oh, it's flat and straight, and it hadn't grown. Oklahoma City had not grown out as far as it has now. I was a docent at the zoo. I took the Master Gardener course and volunteered with the Master Gardeners. I volunteered with Mercy Hospice, and then Infant Crisis Services, which was the volunteer love. I love volunteering there.
It's a fine organization. Well, they all are, for sure. But, well, what do your children do now? Are they all career people? Or?
My daughter that lives in Edmond is an occupational therapist. The other, my oldest daughter is retired. The one who lives in Austin has always just been a stay-at-home mom. Although all of her children are grown now, but she still is very active in their lives. My son John is an engineer with Burlington North Santa Fe Railroad. He operates the train, which is very interesting to me. I've never known anyone who operated a train. His twin brother had a stroke in 2017, so he is wheelchair bound and it's not working. And he never married. He stays by himself during the day. He lives in Okarche. We had a home. His home was not handicap accessible, so we had a home built and used the organization for the handicap that gives recommendations on homes for handicap. And he has someone that stays there at night. A good friend of his lives with him, but he works during the day. And like I say, Jim can be by himself. It's not that he can't be by himself.
And that is still, I think, the advantage to a small town. There are a lot of people who I'm sure would help if necessary.
Yes, he has, and of course knows. He's lived there all his life, so knows people. Anyway, I think my life was it was blessed, but it was like many people who just lived an ordinary life. Father's parents, his dad immigrated from Ireland.
Oh.
And so when he and my mother were married, Okarche's a German community.
I'm sure.
Mainly, it was then. It may have changed in the last 20 years. So a McCarthy in German, I admired his strength. Yeah. And he was, believe me, we were the only Irishmen in Okarche. It was a big adjustment. Moving from a home. I'd always had a home. I'd always had a wood-burning, I miss the wood-burning fireplace. I miss not having a bird feeder, a rain gauge, the little simple things you don't think of. Fireplace is not a little simple thing, but there are things that I miss, and then there are things I don't miss. If the garage door doesn't work here, that's not my response. I don't have to call overhead door. Somebody here fixes it.
Well, and you don't have to cook, and
I don't
food's
have to
excellent,
cook.
and there are all kinds of amenities, I think.
Yes.
And people.
And people, yes, there are just lovely people.
But, well, thank you for being here and telling us about all this, and it's been delightful, and I've loved hearing about Okarche and the run, so thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
Okay.
I enjoyed visiting with you.
Good. But